Hello, I'm back again and I wanted to do a quick video about two handbags. The Chanel GST and the Chanel Canvas Tote, which is the Deauville bag. Here. I have done a video about this bag before, so I think I was wearing this. I think I may have done it 10 minutes ago, but no biggie. But yeah, I just wanted to do a quick comparison video because when I bought this, it was basically because I couldn't get the GST anymore, and basically you can't actually get this. Well, you can kind of get this bag. You can get this bag, but as the 2016 version, whereas this is the 2000. Well, you can get the it's really embarrassing. It's 2017. You can get the 2017 version, whereas I have the 2012 version, which is slightly different. So I always wanted the GST, and I went in and nearly bought it so many times. Like, I nearly bought it when I got my classic flat. I nearly bought it when I got a scarf. I nearly bought it when it was Christmas, and that was in red. And then I nearly bought it another time when I was buying something, and the girl next to me, it was just before Fashion Week, the girl next to me was trying it on, and I thought, oh, I bet she's buying that for Fashion Week. And I thought, oh, that looks really good. Oh, I've still not bought that. And then we decided to buy a house, and it was like no more Chanel. And then they discontinued it. And then I went in and I was like, oh, do you still do the GST? And they were like, no, not anymore. I was gutted. So basically, it's kind of the bag that got away, and it's the bag that never happened. But at the same time, I think the reason it never happened was because I was never 100% sure of it. The reason I was never 100% sure of it was because it's beautiful. I love the design. It's got this real classic 90s, 80s Chanel vintage vibes. It's a really cool, why am I gesticulating so much? I think it's a really cool bag, but at the same time, once you put in your purse, your phone, and like one lipstick, it's heavy because it's a lot of leather. You get a lot of leather in that bag, and it's got a lot of pockets which are all leather lined. And basically it's a lot of leather, a lot of chain, a lot of strap, and it is a beast to carry. And every time I've gone to buy it, like, you know, that was in the back of my head, like, God, this is going to be a nightmare. Because even though I was buying it to kind of be able to carry like a magazine or a laptop or a book or whatever, like a camera, it was a bit like, God, it's going to get heavy really quickly. And that's kind of the reason I never bought it. But at the same time, I'm still looking for one because I still love the bag. I still want one, I'm not going to lie. But I know that when I do get it, I'm probably going to be really annoyed at how heavy it is. But it's a beautiful bag, it's lovely, and it was actually always a really good price. It was kind of probably the reason they've discontinued it is probably because it was actually really fair priced. I think the first time I saw it and I wanted to buy it was like 1,100, 1,300. It was quite reasonable for the fact that it was a really lovely leather tote, and you got a lot of bang for your buck. Whereas I think around the same time it was about 3,000 for the classic flat bag. So it was a lot cheaper, and it was a much bigger bag with a lot of leather, and it wasn't a tote, and it wasn't like canvas, and it wasn't seasonal. It was classic. It was a very, very good price, and I'm an idiot for not buying it, but basically I didn't, so that's why. And then I've basically been trying to source a vintage version for about the same price that I could have got it for when I wanted it originally, but I'm trying to source one. It's taking a little bit of time. I've got a few different people looking out, but only really one that I actually want to buy off, because I get very, very nervous of buying vintage Chanel bags, just in case they end up not being real. So anyway, if you're thinking about the GST, that is my thoughts on it. And then if you're thinking about the Canvas tote bag, these are my thoughts on this. I'm going to be honest, I don't think it's as beautiful as the GST. I don't think it's as flashy. I don't think it pops like a power punch. Like, I don't think people are going to go, oh my God, look at her bag. Like, it is a lot more casual. It's a lot more like floppy and soft and denim, and you know, the perceived value is actually, I think it looks like a cheaper handbag, even though the 2017 version of that is about 3,500, and the GST, I think when it was discontinued, it was actually about 1,500, so maybe 1,700 at a push, but I don't even think it was that much. So even though the GST was cheaper, the kind of the current version of this is actually more expensive. But I do think the GST looks like, it looks so good. Like, it looks so sleek and cool and stylish, and just, it looks so good, and I love the hardware and I love the leather on it, and I think it's beautiful, but it's heavy, and that it has always put me off it. And the reason I wanted it was because it's really practical, but it's not that practical if you can't carry it, because it weighs a freaking ton. Whereas this bag is the same kind of thing. It's a tote, you can fit everything in, you can fit cameras, laptops. I've carried so much in this bag, because also the side panels really extend as well, so you can put a lot in it, but it doesn't have that instant like, oh my god, I love your bag moment. But at the same time, I love this, and I have worn it loads, and it's really lightweight to carry. If you want people to know you're wearing a Chanel bag, this is very obvious that you're wearing a Chanel bag. It looks quite cool because it's quite relaxed and quite casual. I think it's probably better with jeans and better at the weekend than the tote bag is. I think the GST is, because I think the GST does have a more formal feel to it. Basically, if you want the 2012 version of this, you'll have to buy a vintage, and also if you want the GST, you'll also have to buy that vintage. But I know a lot of people do buy kind of on the resale market because it's such a huge place to buy. I mean, personally, I have this bag, and I love this bag, but I'm also on the lookout for the GST. So if I had to choose between them, I can't. I kind of want for both. Well, theoretically. But even though I would say that the GST probably looks better, I would say that practicality and function-wise, and just that feeling of, which bag do you want to wear today? Oh, I want to wear this one! Like, this is the bag I go for. So, yeah, if you manage to find one, if you find basically two at the same price, like, don't instantly go for the GST, don't instantly go for the tote, just have a think about kind of, if your style is more casual, or if you are a bit more like business formal, do think about how much you're going to carry around in it, and where you're going to wear it, because it does get heavy, and I don't want anybody having, you know, lopsided shoulders as they walk along the street. But yeah, I just wanted to do a quick comparison video, because they're two great Chanel tote bags, and the choice is yours. Was that any help? I'm not sure it was. But yeah, basically, I mean, one's casual, one's formal, one's easy and practical. One of them is less easy and practical. In fact, it's actually a bit of a bloody nightmare, because even when you try and carry the GST under your arm, the shoulder straps are shorter than the shoulder straps on here, so they're more like kind of like this. You can add a push, get it under your arm, but if you're wearing anything more than like the least bulky raincoat in the world, you're going to have that real cut-off circulation feeling if you're trying to put the GST under your arm. So it's really a crook of the arm / top handle handbag, which is another thing to consider, because the Deauville bag is one that you can wear, and well, my version is anyway, one that you can wear under your arm, and it is comfortable, and there's space between your armpit and your handbag, so you don't feel like it's really shoved up in there. But yes, they are my thoughts, and I hope that was helpful. Feel free to leave me a comment, feel free to subscribe, feel free to troll me, whatever. Have fun. Thank you, bye.